the Bl'ast time capsule gets resurrected and remastered, and the whole engineering spiel by Dave Grohl. And now you're playing live. First of all, before you started playing live to this generation, and of course old fucks like myself, how did you feel? Did you feel like you still had it? Were you nervous about it? I mean, dude, it's been 30 years.
Yeah, like,
Still in your blood?
Oh, fucking always, forever. Cliff and I, we said if it sounds remotely weaker in any sense, we wouldn't do it. We just wouldn't do it. And fuck, we feel better than ever right now, to be honest.
Yeah.
It kind of has this aged element of what we did, and we didn't try to change it. We never will try to change it. It's just this progression of Bl'ast that has happened, and we're just fortunate to write it. We're just going to fucking write it all the way, because it's evolved into this matured, aged Bl'ast, kind of like wine. It's just fucking feels great, and we wouldn't do it if it was anything less than the feeling we had.
Is it rewarding that the young generation is going as fucking nuts and apeshit as back in my day, 1984? Now, you got to excuse me. I'm 45 years old now, bro. I have lower disc damage and, God knows what. So I'm not going to be flying off the stage anytime soon. But is it still rewarding for you to see these fucking kids go fucking nuts, like just back like in the 80s?
Yeah, it's fucking been great. It's really cool. It's fucking been a real surprise, too, to get all this support from our peers and our friends, too, that, are established in the music industry. And they're all fucking on board saying, come on, let's go play some shows and this and that. And then to see all these kids really digging it and checking it out and, wondering what it was back then compared to now. And, like I said before, Cliff and I wouldn't do it if it was weak in any sense. We like to keep the shenanigans. We like to keep the manic, keep it massive and keep it, kind of fucked. You know what I mean?
So you released Blood on Southern Lord Records. Got a great response. Now it's time to write new material. How's that going? Talk to me about that, man.
It's been going fucking great. Yeah, we're really stoked about it, and it's we recorded a couple songs already, and everyone was tripping out because it sounds like our personality. It's the same band. Everyone was tripping, like, holy fuck, it's this long ago, and that's Bl'ast right there. And we haven't, we're not going to try to change it or try to do this and that. We might have a better recording than we used to in the 80s, but so all that's going to be great for me and Cliff because we're not used to that, and all the technology of today or lack of or whatever. But it's really fucking cool because it's Bl'ast. We're not going to do anything different.
Now, you have new members in the band. Obviously, everybody talks about Nick Oliveri. He's some unknown band, called Queens of the Stone Age and Mondo Generator. Okay. Those guys, the rhythm section really kicks in that beast mode, man. They really fuel that engine. How did you score even getting these guys?
We've always been friends with him. And then Joey Castillo, we played with him back in the 80s. He used to be in Wasted Youth and stuff. So we'd play Fenders with him, and he knows all about Bl'ast.
So he knows the history. He knows the DNA.
Exactly. I don't think anyone could pull it off like him because, our roots was something you can't figure out. It's just something you got to live through and do it. It's aged. So Cliff was working up in Santa Cruz, a Catalyst, and Mondo was playing, and fucking Nick walks up and said, dude, we're going to start jamming live again. You interested? Want to do this thing? And Nick's like, fuck yeah, I'll do it. Let's do this. And Nick kind of bumped into Joey, and Joey's like, fuck yeah, let's do this thing. So we all got together and started playing, and it just sounded so fucking good. And those guys are so great, it just brought it to this level where we're just really, stoked about it.
Does that kind of help in a way in itself, the fact that not only are you coming back to the stage and naturally exploring where you left off, because basically Bl'ast kind of just stopped in a moment in time, man. So it's kind of reminiscent, actually. It's kind of like really well written how it just stopped and then just organically came back. But then you have this powerhouse behind you, and then they're fans, man. That's got to be great, right?
Yeah, it's really great. It's just this weird natural progression that's the story's written, and it's happening, and we're kind of just writing it and watching this, turning the pages, going, fuck, this is really cool, man. These guys are so fucking good, and Bl'ast is sounding better than ever. So we're all, you know, all four of us, if it didn't sound like that, we all didn't feel that, we wouldn't do it.
Now, you've been traveling the world with Bl'ast. Yeah. How's that been going?
That's been going really good, man.
Tripping on that?
Fucking really tripping, because Cliff and I never really got to go. We get, you know, Bl'ast, you know, when it got signed to SST and went for a few years, you know, SST started kind of falling apart a bit, and you know, all these other bands started getting their shoes, so we kind of got set way back in the back, so we never really had the chance to do things we wanted to do. So we kind of just said, you know, let's stop here and see what we want to do with it, and it just kind of got weird, so we just stopped for a while, and you know, thankfully.
Unbelievable, right? Like the Minutemen and Husker Du and Soundgarden and
seriously,
and the band that influenced everybody and everybody was talking about. You guys fucking went on the show.
Yeah, and it's just.
How are you not in therapy? Why am I angry over this?
It's pretty weird, man. Yeah, seriously, it's kind of that thing where you just try to maintain and
everything comes back to fruition. So now you're traveling the world. You're playing to different audiences. People are not only going back and recognizing how, and when I say this, I mean this, because there's some of you that keep talking shit. Groundbreaking, ahead of their time. Go back to the discography. Here you are writing new material now. Does any of that come into your head? Do you get a little head fucked? I mean, or what are you doing?
No, we never have. It is what it is, and you know, it can't detour us away in any kind of way. You know, it's going to be what it's going to be, and you know, we wouldn't. You know, I just like when writing the songs, it's got to be that element of we'll take on a whole fucking gang, whatever it is. You know, it's got to have that feeling of just fucking kicking balls and. Or we wouldn't do it. And it's so great to see all of that. And the cool and weird thing about it is all of our friends that we grew up with in the 80s are now, yeah, well, they're substantial in the music industry, and have this, we've seen so many of them. They're like, well, fuck, Bl'ast is back, and how's it sound? Fuck, it sounds incredible. Fuck yeah, let's, you know, so we get all the support from all these great friends and people and peers, so we're just kind of really stoked to kind of travel over the world now and play music, and we were really looking forward to releasing a bunch of music this year, and excited to have everyone check it out and get into it or whatever or not. Fucking, it's going to be there for them.
Right. Obviously, we can't talk about when it's coming out, but when it does, you're going to be playing it. Aside from this Goat Snake show that you're playing, are you playing any other tours? Are you supporting anybody else?
Well, actually, we're actually in the middle of negotiating and building our team. So
we won't talk about that either.
Yeah, well, we're looking to start the book, I think, in early fall. So we're going to start playing a lot of shows, and next year should be a ton of Bl'ast shows. So
right on. There are very few bands that can actually go back to an era and not only reignite, but at the same time inspire so many artists that are now considered groundbreaking, that they had witnessed Bl'ast and they got where they're at now with their fame or what have you. It's nice to see that time decided to go back, reward you, save some very crucial recordings so the young generation and the old generation can enjoy it. And the fact that you have health, that you're still humble, and that you're still a beast on stage, man. I got to tell you, growing old is not cool, but it's cool when Bl'ast is on stage. Thank you so much, Mike, for taking the time to talk to me.
Right on, man.